Are you optimistic about the future?
Yeah, you know. I mean, there are people out there that don't watch TV and they don't have, you know, news feeds.
Yeah.
And there's a way to go about it, you know, to block it all out. And you'd be surprised how different the world is when you
put the phone down,
when you block it all out, and how, you know, you look after number one and number two and everyone that's around you, and then I think we're going to be fine.
Well, it's one of those things where it can be overwhelming to think that can you as one person make a difference. But then I look at it as, well, in my own backyard, if I'm trying to make a difference, and I hope everybody else in their own backyards, and then it collectively adds up to something.
Yeah. Well, all you can do is take care of you and yours, and lead by example, you know, in hopes that others catch on. And if they don't, then, you know, at least you can feel good about what you're doing. You know?
Well, you are what? 47, 48?
47.
47. So, not old by any means at all, but, you know, you're going to be 50 in 3 years. Mm-hmm. Is there any kind of justification or mindset perspective that's maybe changed with that next milestone coming up?
Justification.
I guess as an artist and someone that's, you know.
Oh, you know, well, in my position, it all can end quickly, you know. I'm 100% dependent upon the people buying tickets, you know, and they could stop.
Yeah.
And no one's more aware than me. And so I'm riding on a very grateful, you know, play, you know, 110 shows a year on the weekends type of vibe, you know, and keep that up as much as I'm allowed, you know. Yeah, that's my deal.
What about with looping? Because when I first saw you, it must have been the late 90s. You were the only person that I had seen doing stuff like that. And now I see, you know, Ed Sheeran on the Grammys doing looping.
Yeah.
One person on one of the world's biggest. What do you think about that? That now you have these pop artists that have kind of jumped onto that on a grander scale.
I think the first time I saw it was the Joni Mitchell video. Was it Santa Barbara Bowl or the Hollywood Bowl? One of the two. Pat Metheny, one of the Breckers, and Jocko Pastorius, and where everyone left the stage, and Jocko had an Echoplex, a tape loop, with a piece of tape that would go around, come back around, and he would just have this big barrage of noise with a backbeat, and that was in like, you know, 79, 80, you know. So I mean, I saw it then, and I mean, I didn't see it then, but I mean, later on, as I got into a Jocko phase, I saw that. And, so it's not like a new concept, you know.
Of course it isn't.
And so the fact that, you know, technology is definitely caught up and it's gone into a consumer area to where it's very easy and accessible to get these tools to be able to pull it off and have it sound good. I have now transferred over to the consumer models. In case something goes wrong, I can go to a local store and, you know, maybe buy it.
What surprised you the most about, in a good way, about this journey that you've been on musically?
What surprised me the most?
About all the time on the road. And
I think it was just probably the circle back around into the Grateful Dead world, you know, being able to play with Bobby and Mickey and Phil and Billy.
Does the Dead mean a lot to you growing up?
Yeah, well, 87 to 95, I saw a lot of shows, and once my shows started to pick up, I couldn't go to as many shows as I wanted, so the ones I went to were really strong and special.
Which one stuck out the most?
That was that last run, or no, I would say that first run I ever really did in '89.
Okay.
The first Deer Creek.
Yep.
And the Alpine Valley that followed it.
The Meccas.
Yeah, those were, and then the Warlocks at the Hampton Coliseum. I think that was all the same year. I think it was that fall, maybe, that the Warlocks came to Hampton Coliseum. So they called it the Warlocks because they couldn't call it the VAPE.
Well, and then you're having this full circle moment in your life where I guess one of those things is the older you get, the more you kind of go back to what you originally liked, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely plays true a lot, you know, with a lot of different music, you know, stuff you was obsessed with in my teens and my 20s. I pull up now and really, you know, get into it.
Yeah, like obscure classic rock or folk or stuff like that.
Well, it's more like the punk rock and the that type of thing.
That kind of complex simplicity type of thing.
Yeah, like the Replacements. And, and old REM.
Yep.
And like Sex Pistols, GBH, Ramones, you know, stuff like that. I was really dialing up as a teenager.
Well, what is it like performing and traveling and meeting people? What does that taught you about what it means to be a human being?
Wow, that's deep, man. I don't know. I don't know. Performing. What has it taught me about being a human being?
Yeah, about
it's just. I'd say the most important thing in life is compassion and golden rule type of thing of treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, I'd say that's the biggest takeaway. You know, and that. If you deeply go there, you know, it'll come back to you later.